Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be doing Fatal Fury 3 Road to the Final Victory, or Garo Densetsu 3 Road to the Final Victory. In this new game in the iconic series, it is actually part of the next portion of the Fatal Fury storyline. Does not actually take place in the King of Fighters. There's five of the characters are returning, so you do have Terry Bogard, Andy Bogard, Joe Higashi, Mai Shiranui, and Geese Howard are, of course, brought back. We had five brand new original characters. Han Fu, which is basically Jackie Chan from the Police Story series. Great animation. He also uses nunchakus in this, and if you miss on one of his specials, it's pretty funny what happens next. Bob Wilson, who is the character, is a student actually of one of the first fighters in the first game. One of the bosses actually from the Pow Pow Cafe. Sakaku Mochizuki, Franco Bash, and of course Blue Mary have been added to the cast. So right now it's about a total of about 10 playable characters, so definitely a smaller roster than what was present in Fatal Fury 2. This itself, as far as the plot, since it is taken a step away from the King of Fighters tournament, actually concerns two brothers, Jin Chonshu and Jin Chunrei, who are basically trying to look for these two magical stones. And of course, Geese comes back in this, as he's also trying to look for those stones as well. Of course, Terry, Andy, Joe, and their team, of course, don't want Geese to get hold of these stones, as they would, of course, go ahead and completely dominate and ruin the storyline of the Fatal Fury universe. Ryuji Yamazaki is also making his first appearance in this game as well. None of the boss characters from the original game, or in this game, I should say, are playable, at least in the arcade version. And Fatal Fury 3 is definitely a brand new game compared to the first three that came out. Unlike Street Fighter 2, which took many years before it actually entered Alpha Series, or Street Fighter 3, they pretty much iterated little by little, whereas SNK, seeing that, sales overall were still more on Capcom's corner, basically built the engine from scratch. It's definitely a very different game. It's leading to a game that definitely has a different feel than the original 3. It's definitely got more of a feel of what Real Bout eventually becomes. It's definitely a lot faster, the gameplay is even tighter. And some people, think that, especially if you're a fan of Capcom fighting games, that you'll definitely feel more at home with Real Bout Fatal Fury 3 onwards. All the characters have also been redrawn. There's a lot more frames of animation. There's a bit more of an anime kind of a quality to them. Almost all the techniques that each character had, at least for the ones that are returning, are here as well. Of course, you can still do the dash by tapping forward, cancel dash, things of that nature as well. You can even do short hop jumps as well by quickly tapping up. One of the first in the series. The desperation moves are still there, and also some new hidden desperation moves that basically once you have a full bar and your health is low that you can actually use. Also, there's different stage knockouts you can use as well. Background finishers when it comes to I think stages for Joe, Hanfu, Terry, and Mai are the ones, and there's also stages for like Geese and Bob, and then Yamazaki is as well. The foreground and background plane system has changed just a little bit, being able to jump up and back from the foreground to the background. There's a little bit of a slight delay before the movement going much faster. There's now three planes instead of just two. So you can definitely use this to fully dodge some of the special projectile moves as well. To go to the back plane, you press BC. To go to the front plane, you press AB. There's a lot more options in order to sidestep and get rid of to get past some of the special moves. The presentation is I think a little bit a bit more anime than at least the first two games. What I do like is the characters are larger and they definitely animate very well. The background art have also even improved. The backgrounds are even busier. There's even a lot more kind of hidden jokes as well, parallax. There's different levels in the stadium as well. For example, in my stage there's actually an aquarium, and there's different like fish and aquarium life that actually swims back and forth. There's also different cameos as mentioned in some of Bob's stages. So you can see Kyo, Richard Meyer, who actually is Bob's teacher. That was the name I couldn't remember from the Pow Pow Cafe. Overall, there are about 12 stages. The standard stages are mainly for the main characters. So Sound Beach is Terry's stage. There's Howard Arena, which is Andy's stage. National Park, which you see here, which is Joe Higashi's stage. The East Side Park with the aquarium background is my stage. And then Pioneer Plaza is Mary, or what we call Blue Mary's stage. Port Town is Hanfu's stage. The Dream Amusement Park is Sokaku's stage. Pow Pow Cafe 2 is Bob's stage, with the Southtown Airport being Franco Bash's stage. As far as the mid-boss stages and boss stages, there's only 3. There is the South Station, that's Yamazaki's stage. And you do have Geese's Tower, which of course is Geese Howard's stage. And then for the 2 brothers, Delta Park for the Jin brothers, both the final boss and then the special boss. The characters themselves are fairly well done. As far as the new characters, you do of course have Blue Mary, a freelance secret agent. Bob Wilson, as I mentioned before, is a capoeira fighter who is the student of Richard Meyer. Franco Bash is a former super heavyweight boxing champion. Hanfu, a detective, again very much along the lines of Jackie Chan from the Police Stories series. Sokaku Mochizuki is head of a temple and a Buddhist monk. Ryuji Yamazaki, gangster, which is one of my favorite characters. He's quite a character to control and also to fight against. And as I originally mentioned, Jin Chonsu and Jin Chonrei, bosses of the game, who are the twin guardians of the scrolls that Geese Howard is trying to acquire. Fatal Fury 3, I think, is a great culmination of the first 4 Fatal Fury games. And again, Fatal Fury Special was more of a championship edition / turbo edition to Fatal Fury 2. Of course, Fatal Fury 1, and then now Fatal Fury 3 with the brand new, graphic engine, gameplay engine. You can definitely see where this was pretty much the transition game of where you saw the old Fatal Fury series right before it became Real Bout. This was definitely the genesis of what the Real Bout series eventually became. And I think honestly the Real Bout series is one of my favorite series for the Fatal Fury games. Only second to Garou Mark of the Wolves. I'm definitely still hoping for Garou Mark of the Wolves in the future, keeping my fingers crossed for that. Again, another wonderful game, infinitely much more playable than the first 3. You can definitely see as you play each one how much tighter the gameplay control have gotten, how much more responsive, much better the graphics are, the faster pace. So definitely with each generation it just gets better and better and better. And for the next video that you guys will be seeing will be an overview of the Real Bout games in general. So thanks for watching. I do appreciate everyone taking their time to watch and comment this video. If there are other game series in the Neo Geo or Capcom games that you'd like me to go ahead and do an overview for, please comment below.